Hey guys, so I got like 20 days till I moved to Florida. I just bought plane tickets the other day. It's getting pretty real. We're selling all our stuff, you know what I mean? And I've just been thinking more and more about these videos, how I'm gonna post, what I'm gonna do, the content I wanna make. And for this one, just, to backtrack on, after I made it, and everyone's like, how'd you make it? I wanna be like, go watch the videos, they'll show you how I made it. And a big thing I'm running into, dude, is consistently is the people around you matter so much because they can so easily get in your head and spin you one kind of way, irritate you, upset you, set you back, make you doubt yourself. So the people you surround yourself with, right? So like you'll have friends and you're like, dude, I got this crazy new idea. Yo, I've got this crazy new idea. Yo, I've got this crazy new idea. And you'll have some friends, you know what I mean? They'll be like, yes, dude, yes, let's make it happen. Let's run with that. That is the move. That is the next big that is the best thing since sliced bread. You need those kind of hype people in your corner that are supportive, constantly running through the ideas, no issues. They're like, let's figure it out. Let's find out what the next niche is. And you'll have other people who, like stability and like consistency and like reality. Those people are just gonna be walking around with L's forever. That's how I look at it. People that just tell me, oh, you always change your plan. Oh, you always dream too big. Oh, you always, whatever. That's fine. People were telling me that when I was like, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Well, I was saying that shit when I was homeless and living on someone's couch. And they were like, okay, buddy, get a job first. And I ran through so many jobs. And I hated working for other people. I was like, I'm gonna start my own business. I'm gonna work for myself. And again, everyone's like, okay, buddy, well, get your own thing first, get your own house, get settled down first, figure your own thing out. And I never did. I burned through jobs like they were underwear, dude. I did not care. I had no problems quitting a job, no problems walking off a job. And to some people, that's a terrible characteristic, you know what I mean? That shows bad work ethic and poor discipline. And to an extent, I agree. I'll say that, yes. But I've never stopped grinding, you know what I mean? I've never just been a bum, a total mooch, well, I was at one point, but we're just not going to count that period of my life for this conversation. Anyway, point being, if you got people always doubting your ideas and like, oh, I don't even listen to that guy anymore because he's always changing his mind and changing his plans, and he says one thing and the next time I talk to him it changes. People that are constantly changing their mind and changing their opinion on their plans and where they're going, like that is like the definition of growth. Like that is the definition of changing your choices based on new intel. Like if you're, if everything is the same, then you're right. Your plan don't need to change because you set your plan and you make a plan to get to where you want to go and you follow it. But then along the way, if you don't learn anything, then you're right. You're probably going to get to the end of your plan, but you haven't learned shit. Me, all the time, I'll set a plan. I'm like, I want to be here. And then while I go from here to here, I'm like, oh, I learned some shit. Now I'm gonna go over here, and then I'll learn some shit. So, and I'm all over the place. And some people hate that, and some people give me shit for that. Some people talk all shit on that. Whatever, follow along, stay posted. But stop asking for my input and my assistance and my, knowledge on all the lessons I learned. Like, don't make fun of me while I'm learning these lessons, and then ask me what I learned from them down the road. You know what I mean? Like, I learned a lot starting my business. I made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of oopses. I took a lot of wrong turns because I didn't know shit. I was winging it, and people gave me shit for it all the time. Like, oh, your plans always change, or you never know what you're doing, or you're always doing this, that, the third. I am. And I learned from all those things. And then when I find my one niche, and then, it's starting to take off and it's doing good and I'm growing, and then someone's like, oh, it's really successful. Like, I want to do that. I hate this 9 to 5 I'm in. Let me follow in your footsteps. And I'm like, dude, you were shit talking on this 6 months ago when it wasn't working out. Nobody appreciates the grind of where it takes to get somewhere successful. A lot of people just want the fast track. They want to see everyone else fail and go on the ups and downs and the, ride it out and the ups and the downs and the shitty and the good and the bad. And they just want to be like, okay, yeah, now teach me how to get just the good and, just the uphill and just the, No, dude, learn this shit yourself, or, support me through my journey of me learning the ups and downs, and then I will happily give you my knowledge and my wisdom on what I've learned. So, because I don't want to watch you make those mistakes, but don't talk shit on me while I'm learning them and then ask for my opinion on them. That's my biggest pet peeve as of right now. But anyway, I've got big plans to do crazy shit in Florida. I want to start, I want to continue the contracting thing. I want to get directly into the tile and porcelain slabs and countertops and a lot of custom things in that realm. I want to open a showroom, build a brand around that somehow, and then eventually getting to being a builder, doing spec homes. Somewhere in like the Highline Homes realm is where I'm headed. I think that was my lady. But anyway, I have a lot of people, oh, your plans always change. And that is, dude, more power to you. The more I see someone talk about their plans and the more I see them, developing their plans and growing their plans, the more I'm like, that's the dude that's going to be successful. The person who changes his mind every week, to set a different goal, to be on a different track, like, great. Like, you are learning faster ways to get places. Like, you're putting in the most work. You're learning the most. Follow the guy who's not necessarily winging it, but who's constantly changing and developing. That's the guy that's going to make it somewhere. The guy whose plan hasn't changed in 6 years, you'll notice he has not gotten any higher in the last 6 years. I know 100 contractors that are one-man bands working out of a fucking van. Excuse my language. I'm trying to be better about that. Working out of a van. And they're like, oh, I don't want to hire anyone. Why pay someone extra money to, do something I could do? Or, I'm not going to subcontract work because I can do it. Why would I pay someone else to do what I could do? That's small mind thinking, right? Like, that's little syndrome of, trying to do everything because, you can do it better and you want to make the most money and you're penny pinching everything. It doesn't make sense for you to spend 3 weeks doing one job when you could hire 3 people and do those 3 jobs in 1 week. You might make 40% of the job, but 40% of those 3 jobs in 1 week, so that the next week you can go do 3 more jobs and do 40% of each of those jobs. Like, you may be paying out 60%, but you're doing it 160% faster or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, get out of the mindset of trying to do everything yourself. Like, the small-minded thinking is just not it. That is little game stuff. Like, if you only want to make your 65, 80 grand a year, whatever, stick to your plan. You'll get there. It'll work. Lame, but if that's for you, it's for you. It's just not for me. But I'm moving to Florida. I'm starting this business. I'm bringing 2 of my best friends with me. I'm bringing my family. I'm up and moving. I'm 22 years old. Yes, I'm having help from a lot of outsourced places. I've got a lot of family assisting me. I'm not doing it on my own, but I'm definitely putting in the work. Not on my own, but I'm definitely putting in the work, for my own. Like, I'm not just being carried along. I'm not being handed anything. I'm not, just being gifted this opportunity. This didn't just fall on my plate. Like, I've been putting in the work for months and months and months, and I've been talking about it for years and years and years about these big plans. And I've been shit on a lot of the time along the way. Like, a lot of people are like, okay, buddy, whatever, buddy. Like, you can't even hold a job, buddy. And all right, pal. And I remember everybody said everything, all those things. Like, I have not forgotten those of you who were in my corner and people were like, hell yeah, bro. Like, that's the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm like, yes. And then a week later, we're like, huge downfall. Like, I used to have a really good friend. He's my best friend since high school. We don't talk no more, but he was the kind of guy that we were constantly bouncing business ideas off each other all the time. Like, we didn't just talk about little stupid shit like, nonsense. We talked about business all the time. We jumped from spray foam to roofing, to solar, to, all these different business ideas. And we're like, yes, like, this is foolproof. This is a great idea. And then we'd spend 3 weeks looking into it hard as hell and be like, we see all the cons. That one might not be as, profitable or as beneficial as we thought. Next idea, we spent so much time looking into cargo container houses. We're like, that's awesome. That's our stuff. We love it. It's sweet. Let's do it. Let's get into it. We made that one as far as, talking to city planners and building councils and architects. And, like, we put a lot of work into that one for months and months. And it fell through just because of funding. And, that relationship between me and him went bad, unfortunately. That's something I would love to pick up down the road. I'm just not ready to be there yet, solo. But anyway, finding friends like that is huge. Finding people you can constantly grow with and bounce ideas back and forth off of is huge. Too many people have stale-ass friends. You know what I mean? And which friend I'm talking about if you have one. It's just a friend that's like a stick in the mud or whatever. Like, let's not talk about business. Let's talk about sports. Let's go talk about this new video game. Let's just sit here on our phone. Did you see this funny TikTok? Ha, 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 ha. Lame, dude. Like, let's grow. So that's my first initial advice. Sorry, 10% battery. I don't charge my phone ever. That's my first initial advice: is find friends that you can grow with consistently. Don't stick around with the same 5 friends since high school just because they're your best friends since high school. Keeping old friends is a good thing. Do not limit yourself and surround yourself solely with those old friends that are not doing the same big things you anticipate to be doing. Constantly be growing. Learn all the time. Read a lot of books. Don't just talk to don't just follow motivational speakers who are like, get up early and, don't eat bad and meal prep, go to the gym and be successful. But watch people that are actually like, this is my business and this is how I did it and this is where I started and this is where I got to, A, B, C, D. Some kind of substance like that, because everybody can, post a motivational, video from 7 different angles of them pouring their coffee and making their protein shake and like a motivational quote from somebody down at the bottom. Great, a little bit of that's awesome in your feed because, it keeps you hyped. Not a lot of substance genuinely to it. It's just a little bit of like motivational quote, whatever, cool. But find, people that are in your area of expertise. I just set up a coffee date with the owners of a local business here who are in the neck of the woods of the things I want to be doing. And I was like, hey, I know you guys are busy. Let me buy you coffee sometime this week. I would love to pick your brain. They were super cool about it. They're like, absolutely, we'd love to work with a young contractor. We'd love to tell you what we know. And so I've got, that coffee meeting coming up of just to pick someone's brain, someone who is where I want to be. Like, hey, where you're at now, may not be the top of where I want to be, but it's definitely a stepping stone. Let me get together with you. That's my next big jump. Outsource, network, talk to success. Damn, that's a tough word. Talk to successful people. Get in with them. Most of them are nice people. Honestly, the more I talk to successful people and people with money, they tend to be nicer than trying to talk business with the people who are broke and don't know business, because it's hard for them to comprehend, making $100,000 a year, $250,000 a year, $1 million a year, because that's just not something they find realistic. So for them, talking about it is the same as being like, man, if you're the only person on the planet for a day, it's like, big deal. It's never going to happen. Don't talk to people like that. Find people that are like, yes, I'm actually making $250,000 a year. This is my business. This is what I did. Those are the people you need to be in with. And I'm feeling super strong about that right now. I'm super hyped. I'll let you know how that coffee date goes. And I will keep you posted on the new things to come. 20 days till Florida. Thanks, guys.